When we create and maintain a space of solitude, we're acknowledging that we take our essential being seriously. So every time we meditate, pray, or engage in our spirit, in reading spiritual practices, we are honoring our light within, honoring our amazing selves and our highest potential, and we're attuning ourselves with the sacred.
InShalla and Ashe. How are the waves and the tides of the moon feeling or feeding form for you? So, do you ever pay attention to the season's ruler during the year? So, the moon really is at the hypergate during the season right now, and the flow is these emotional waters and tides. And what's curious, because a curious mind questions everything, is Mercury, the ruler of the mind, is now entering the season of the moon herself. So, this is where our thoughts and feelings are literally two main stage ingredients that are merging together, swirling together in the cosmic suit in alignment with the same kind of memoir, if you will. And Mars, our character energy and our action energy, the instigator, if you will, is also in alignment with our processor of our thoughts, just creating a moment of being mindful along with emotional grounding. So if thoughts become entangled like a web and emotions are being triggered, just stream into the chalice of your heart and allow the Queen Mother, the divine, to soothe the thoughts that created that condition. So feeling into what the mind was communicating to those waters, to those threadways during the season that we're in with the moon. So thoughts truly have a purpose today. It's as if source energy, the divine, is interpreting these personal streams in our own personal chalice, just allowing them to flow just like the rivers of our emotional field or like the ocean waves. And the moon is in Libra. She's frequenting balance or bringing in streams of balance, waves to receive harmony. And there's just an invitation to truly open up to more than that loving sensation, receiving that sensation. And it's like a bounty of harmonics, if you will, within our environment setting the stage. But welcome to the Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host. I'm a practicing holistic shaman and medium, an otherworldly life coach, and a subtle energetic surgeon. But I do go with the term holistic Sha'Medium to merge it all together. But truly, my intention is to utilize the power of these indigenous technologies within the elemental realms, our original divine blueprint, to navigate our soul's harmonic, our codex, our original codes, through the realms of the elementals into this elemental highway and the imaginal realm where I think all the sauce is. And even through our shamanic portal, the library in the sky, with the cosmos and these subtle energies, elements, and elemental beings, and really so much more, with rituals, offerings, and prescriptions to add to the juice in your container, your personal medicine, the inner genius, and really just assisting you to navigate your personal medicine, the star that I truly believe we all are, so you can shine brighter and have more magic streaming out so you shine a lot brighter. My name is Tonya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. There should be a song, right? So are you feeling as if you're like climbing a mountain to get an elevated thought, a new perspective of how we even feel about the events, people, places, situations in our outer world at the moment? So when thoughts and emotions blend, those really are the two main ingredients on the highway today. It's time to like go to the village and contemplate, or go to the mountain and tell the mountain the secrets we are contemplating between our emotions and our feelings. The foundation's really streaming from the chalice of our heart, the Queen of Hearts, if you will. So this is the mountaintop point of view, like a sacred mountain where we do authentically belong in different situations, places, events, and things. Our heart always knows. Even though on the surface, it's kind of our thoughts are treading the feelings, and they're the operating system of today, if we were a computer. But the undercurrents, the deep waters within ourselves, deep water, really ask yourself the divine equation, the division, I guess, of where the queen, the chalice, truly belongs. So what does she say about the feelings in the situations? I mean, myself, I leave if I feel like I don't belong somewhere, feeling into those feelings. And if you have yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Authentically Heartfelt, only heart doing it, Tonya D, and go ahead and hit the bell button so you're notified. And remember, if you comment or share, I'll pull a message for your day to get you on your galactic way, adding some sauce. But it echoes out the algorithm to like-minded users like yourself who are interested in the universe and these curious times we're in. And also those that are curious about otherworldly insights, the world of spirit, source, elemental beings, and so much more. That's kind of my outfit. But you can also find me on other social platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and my Musing with Tonya D podcast that has over 30,000 downloads. Yay, team. And if your soul wishes to dive on deeper into the realms of the other world, head on over to my Musing Corridor. This is my online library in the sky where you have some amazing options to really assist you, to navigate, to guide. I really am your shamanic assistant. You truly are your own healer. And I just have a few announcements for my show. I do what's called, I should have put this up here, I'm so hilarious, cowrie shell divinations and candomblé voice, the beings of the other world, a candomblé voice diviner if you are curious. But these are one-on-one divinations. They're inspired by the voices of the other world, the beings there, ancestors, the keepers of the wild, the fae, which I definitely connect with, and just otherworldly beings, source, etc. And if you haven't heard of cowrie shell divinations or candomblé voice diviners, these are unique methods used to address symptoms of adversity that we come up against or bump up against, and indigenous technologies are ways to resolve those adversities. So the querent moves the shells to address the issues at hand. So it's an investment in yourself of only $222 for a full hour immersion investment. But I, the diviner, I then read the shells with offerings and insights and guidance and a specific prescription to remedy the adversity at hand. So being a modern day diviner utilizing methods of the origin, the elementals to transform adversity, seeing things through a different worldview perspective. And also for the month of July, it really is time to solicit our inner solitude, treading these waters. It's an inward journey to solicit that inner solitude. I mean, it's our own personal oxygen mask when we're on the airplane. And how often do we authentically invest in ourselves first? Put the oxygen mask on first. Taking time and space for our chalice, our holy grail, our personal, of course, our own streams of personal grace, if you will. So solitude. Solitude's a way to take us to that inner peace. And you're going to learn and also understand how you too can just snap your fingers and get there easily and simply just by doing that. So with our mind and our emotions collaborating today, that's kind of what's on the menu. Can't make that up. Hang on, I'm trying to find my fun little, oopsie, there we go. Again, our mind and emotions are collaborating. So what resonates with you, or what do you see, what do you feel? So we have a mind, a spirit or a soul, and a body. Like, are you embodied? So as I wait for comments, your choice, and the messages, did you have a surprise or a self, I want to say kind of like an augmentation or realization, maybe a breakdown to get to your breakthrough yesterday, the struggle inside, you know, maybe it felt real, maybe it's a little awkward, a message, you're not able to feel the memo, but it possibly was a sigil, a sign, a symbol of really self-discovery in our inner world. So you may see a new perspective, a new light shine on, an independent solitude, inner realization, separate from the rest, climbing the mountain, seeing things differently, chapters of different feelings, or even just paragraphs, if you will, a little snippet, through the shadowscapes of our mind. So adding ingredients, little splashes of color and insights of how we feel from the mind's influence, kind of taking that out and magnifying it through magnifying glasses. The eye of God is kind of how I see that. Rose-colored glasses, actually. So it's like, what does our heart belong feeling? Do I belong feeling good and gooder, or am I being toxic to myself? And then take a new mental perspective, a new attitude, a different way of thinking and musing. With that, that's kind of what's on the docket or the menu I like the menu, or the docket actually. But on the elemental highway, we have a yang metal monkey of a day, a Zhang Shen. Big metal, big boulders getting in the way. It may feel a little bit fidgety, metal and fire, and monkeys are fidgety, by the way. But our day is actually weak in the month of the horse, the season of the summer. Fire is hot, right? It is like birthing new. It's steamy, but it's weak. Our day is weak. It's kind of parched. The earth herself is dry. We don't have any earth showing. It's all hidden underneath all the fire. But water is needed, and wet earth actually to produce shiny metal, to make it shine on. So we could use more metal, yin metal, not yang, to bring it into balance. You could also go with water, the wet earth, and metal, or all three in combination. That's probably what I would do. And our outer God streaming in from the ancestors, the year, and all the combination, by the way, the family lineage, is the artist. It's highly elevated today. It's efficient. It's at this extraordinarily artistic, otherworldly skills, I guess. Fine taste, luxury, the gourmet foods. You know, kind of the, I call them the tidy whities. I just shouldn't say that out loud, but it's true. Communicators, excellent communicators, great at writing. They love social gatherings, very intellectual. They like those kinds of debates, challenges. But the original talent of the artist is also the artist. So this is like having that artistic flair and how you communicate, those artistic skills, all of the arts, fine arts, clothing, design, shoes, all of it. Food, doesn't really matter, just being an artist in whatever venue you're in. Marilyn Monroe had this, Julianne Moore, Ed Sheeran, and Ingrid Bergman, of all people, just to name a few that have this super talent. So that's super fun. Okay, so who did you choose? I'm not seeing any comments. Did you go with the mind, the body, spirit, or soul? I kind of mused about all three, and they all three need to get along, right? But as far as the messages, they're coming in from the muse, and I myself love a musing mind, or to be musing throughout my day. Just thoughts musing in the musing venue, right? That's why I'm a muse to so many. Okay, if you went with spirit or soul, you get the sun, which we all have a sun, right? It's the star that we all are, the bountiful, big, galactic, juicy sun, number 19, which is a favorite number of mine as well. But 19 to me is taking action through the heart, or acting on behalf of our heart, when our actions and our characters are really in alignment with our other main ingredients, I should say. That's when the queen lights up. Our heart lights up like the sun, the light that we are, the star that we are. And we begin to manifest those heartfelt desires. And then we move over to loving and giving sacred space to whatever it is we're creating in that manifestation, bringing it into reality. So this is powerful. It's positivity. It's a success. It's having optimism, joy, happiness, celebration of life and family. It's this jovial rumination. So in a world full of the sun and also the shadows, the sun and the moon, there's always finding this speck of time to take that breath, to take that pause, to embrace the sunlight, like sitting in the sun and letting it shine the light on you. So the energy of the sun is often just life in itself. It's this divine energy, source energy, the will to grow, to thrive, the ability to even do that. And being the month has the sun at the top there. We've got a yang fire horse month, right? So this is when we slow down, we come to a pause, we take that breath, and we reach out with our mind to this massive surge and greeting this positive light energy. So you can see that her mind is spinning peacefully, but she's like in a hypnosis state, and the mandala there in the background is just beaming. I bet if you stared at it long enough, it'd start moving on its own. But she's kind of under the spell of that geometric shape of that mandala, and she's in the flow from the divine, which is super juicy because I'm going to be doing my musing moon meditation for the full moon soon. So that's exciting. But this is a dance of ideas, healing memories, healing of those memories, and how the sun can heal, right? It's this organic healing energy and sending us heart-filled messages and blessings of happiness that are found, like there's a signal, a sign that's coming for our success. So expecting total freedom, being optimistic about your own inner joy, and just floating and knowing that you're going to experience this all really soon. And that life is about to not just be better, but it's going to get a whole lot better. So the sun, the mandala of the sun, and just knowing that we are children of the sun and the sun's healing touch, and just celebrating deep and wide and choosing joy first. It's this optimistic sun, and we all get to choose how our light shines. So that's kind of how I see this on a day to day, where the mind is influencing our emotions. Okay, who chose the body? The body's a great one. We've all got a body. Oh, so the body, you get the queen of materials, which is great, right? The queen of hearts is kind of how I see this as well. And you can see all the roses, material. This is the physical world, which is also the body being embodied. This is mothering, nurturing energy, but it's also materialism, right? Material manifest financial wealth, it's gain, unconditional love, it's prosperity, really just trusting in the universe to provide for us organically, but it's also a lesson of lack and greed. But it is abundance. It's the energy of the earth and grounding into the earth, the responsibilities, and being comforted by the earth. But it's the highway of fruition. It's also the highway of gratitude, the attitude of gratitude. It's strong, it's loving, it's determined and courageous. So the queen herself, she stands beneath the poster of her upcoming prosperity and this ascension premiere, if you will, ascending to the premiere of the stages of the other world. So she's being teased lovingly about her larger than life self promotions, right? We all need to be teased a little bit about our self promotion, how we see ourselves. But we also know that we do need to walk the talk in order to model this path of discovery of self love and also self acceptance. The roses, right? Nurturing our own roses. And the message is kind of to nurture all of us in taking this path to wealth, health, joyful abundance, all the things, but also unconditional love, right? That's also a way that we can always teach and heal ourselves. And how do we do it for ourselves instead of just gifting prosperity, winning the lottery? Sometimes it's that oxygen mask first on ourselves. Inner solitude, seriously. But she's showering us with this warmth and nutritious meals and just all the cleanliness of just the perfect things, right? To keep our spirits up, whatever lights up our spirit. And it's just a limitless supply of opportunities, comfort, security. But she's sharing a message of being independent and also accountable within the safety net of life, our own personal garden. So she's reminding us to lean on family, those around us that can nurture us, to welcome in the prosperity. Don't fear being prosperous or success. Sometimes I think we sabotage our own success for the fear of being seen sometimes. So it's ours for the taking today, opening up that door, being self-made, self-believed, believing in ourselves, and just standing within our own self-achievements. So this is an image of our projected self, of a manifested dream and wealth and a deep investment of our own caring for ourselves and multitudes and layers of joyful sharing, the garden, the blessing of the garden, and compassion. So it's a special kind of earthy wisdom, if you will, and having that kind of a mindset, bringing it into the chalice. And then we have whoever chose the mind, which I found this was super awesome and always curious and interesting. This is the six of voices. Voices is our intellect. It is the mind, air signs, the moon's in Libra, the six. So this is the mind and the sun and the moon, literally having this merging in the sauce, being open to receive the blessings of mindful feelings. So where the mind asks the heart with kindness and compassion, hopefully. So why do you feel this way, child? Inner child, right? So it's the influencing of the feelers with optimism. But the six of voices, this is transitions. It's help coming from unexpected places. It's quiet movement, the unseen movement. It's successful expansion, if you will, especially after a period of adversity or difficulty. there's a crossing, like things are opening up at a threshold and changes. Things are becoming realigned, but it's really prompting us to see the distance covered, how far we've come in the hands of the muse. Like the muse can see it, the other world can see it. Sometimes we get in our own way. So you can see that she's standing on the edge of her sanity, the poor little character there, not knowing how to go any further, but knowing that she needs to cross to the other side, breaking the boundaries, right? And looking up at the heavens, sending a silent prayer for help and assistance, but knowing that she is answered by this lightness, faith. It's really quite faith. And she hasn't felt this moment, this presence for a very, very long time, right? It's like you forget about it. This is magic. This is miracles. But the muse of difficult transition is really lending that helping hand, like gifting it to anyone who's seeking solace or a passageway to new states of being, living, and loving. So sometimes the way across the river is unclear. It's often muddy, getting in muddy waters. So in these times, we're being asked to open to receive, which is the 6, help from just otherworldly, wonderful, unexpected places, and just trust that serendipity is going to find us, and look for all kinds of gestures of beauty and magic, and just keep seeking the bright waters over the horizon of Tomorrowland. So as these root into the soul like the tree and stir our spirit and soul, we get moved into a new direction of seeing these small miracles for what they are, miracles, right? Baby miracles. And we can see across the gateway there, the river, through silence. So it's just like finding our own inner peace and having like a steeping stool, if you will, inner quiet, kind intentions, inner solitude, peace. You know, peace really does reside inside when we maintain having faith, a different perspective with Creator, shifting our ways of thinking in all areas of life, and coming to our own self-realization, sharing how we really feel on the inside in relation to our outer feelings, but also being in a place to see how others feel too. Two sides of the coin. So balance and harmony are truly at play, and being that our solar plexus is online along with our sacral, it's like we're doing this fleshing of new confidence, streaming in new self-worth and courage, will, desire. How we think and feel about ourselves creates a new perspective on self-worth and our self-values. Sometimes we limit ourselves and our own personal values, right? So you may feel a little sensitive, old memoirs bubbling up, healing our ego, our actions, old character performances. I know I have mine. I'm just saying, they're out there. So surrendering to Creator, being compassionate, and knowing the hands of comfort are out there holding us, like this here message, and liberation, liberating the sensations to feel great, heartfelt Creator love streaming in the divine. So I would use both the seed sounds of the sacral and the solar plexus, along with the metal elemental sounds and water and earth. I would probably create my own sacred sound melody to really get the energies flowing, allowing them to flow simultaneously. So I'd probably start with the sacral and I'd finish with the sacral, the Vam sound. But then I might bring in the metal at first to ground, right? It's always better to ground and protect before we get really into the sauce of a meditation. So that's what I would do. Those sounds are in the show notes if you're curious what they are. So it's kind of like the voice of Creator is speaking to us today, explaining the pathway with love, which is kindness, right? The universe opens up to a different pathway. So I would affirm that I am open to receive the mindful influences with a grateful heart. Love incarnate, right? Letting the divine stream in. So with that, thanks for tuning in, and Ashe, make it a blessed day, and enjoy the sauce, the main ingredients.